Well, hello, boys and girls. Do y'all know what today is in our church? It's homecoming. Do you know what homecoming is?
Our birthday at church.
Our birthday at church, sort of. That's kind of, sort of. Do you know what homecoming is? Anybody else know what homecoming is, Ty? No? Hey, you want to sit down? Come on. Sit with Ty. Ty, can you let him sit with you? Okay. And Jonah? Do y'all know what homecoming is? Well, do y'all know what we do today? We eat lunch. Yeah, you got that right. That's right. And these Baptists know how to feed. Well, boys and girls, to give you some examples of what homecoming is, I brought a couple of things in my bag to kind of let you know. Well, I couldn't bring in a real fish, so I asked my grandboys if I could borrow one of their shirts that had a fish on it. Okay, so y'all see the fish? Okay. Well, now, if a fish is out of water and I take him and I throw him back in the water, he's going to be glad and happy and celebrating to have his homecoming back in the water. Because a fish out of water, what's going to happen to him? He's going to die. That's exactly right. So that's one kind of homecoming is for a fish. All right, a couple of weeks ago, we had homecoming at our high school. And the crown. I know you girls one day, y'all are so pretty, and one day probably one of you girls are going to be wearing the homecoming queen crown because y'all are beautiful. But there's another kind of homecoming. Well, there was a lot of celebrating. They had Spirit Week that week at school, and there was a lot of homecoming activities, and they were so excited about homecoming. Well, let me tell you about a third kind of homecoming. Not too long ago, hey there, not too long ago, Jonah, his dad, David, had been away in service. And he hadn't seen him for a long time. And April said that at the airport, somebody made their picture. And boy, I know, April, that was a great homecoming, wasn't it? There was some excitement. They were celebrating because Daddy had been gone for a long time and Daddy was back. Well, in the Bible, we hear about the prodigal son. And the prodigal son went away, and he was just not doing things as Daddy wanted him to do. And so he took all of his money, and he went away, and then he lost everything that he had. And he was so willing to even eat with the pigs because he was so hungry. And when he came back, his daddy welcomed him with open arms, and his daddy said, "I'm so glad you're back." And there was excitement, and they were excited about that. Well, boys and girls, today we're having homecoming in our church. And that's when we're welcoming back people who have not been in our church, maybe that were in our church years ago and haven't been here for a while. And we're so excited to have everybody back that hasn't been here in a long time. So it's another excitement, and to celebrate, we're going to eat. Well, boys and girls, the final homecoming I want to tell you about is one day we're going to have homecoming with Jesus Christ for all of us who are Christians. And boys and girls, we bring you down on these front pews because we want you to be used to walking the aisles of the church so that one day when God talks to your heart, you're not going to be scared about stepping up and coming and taking our pastor's hand and saying, "I want to ask Jesus into my heart." And boys and girls, when you do, there's going to be a whole lot of celebrating when you ask Jesus in your heart. But even more when we get to our heavenly home, there's going to be lots of celebrating because we're going to see Jesus face to face. Boys and girls, let's walk up real quietly to Children's Church.